Welcome, everyone, to another master class for wheelchair users. This is about traveling, using your own wheelchair as you travel or using a wheelchair at the airport. So, just depends. But we're going to go through some really important details on traveling because it's a little bit more complicated for us, as we know. I'm going to show and tell some things, and I'm going to just talk it through so that you have a list of things that you need to remember as you travel via plane. Get to the right page here. All right. So packing, you have your own things, you have your medications. We all have medications. And we have you need to make it, this is really important. You need to make your own travel list. I was thinking of creating a form that everyone could use. The problem is we all have different conditions, and the list will look very different from one person to another. So it's important for you to make your own travel list so you don't forget anything really important. So that to start. Then when you are booking your ticket, you're sure you're going, book your ticket. On the left-hand side, usually you'll find some boxes where you need to check some disabilities, whether it's hearing impairment, whether it's wheelchair use. So it has all the details there. So check your boxes and on that ticket. Don't forget that. So the medications, we're gonna look at some details on the medications. It's really important. A lot of people skip on this, and you can't because it'll cause you problems when you travel. So these little boxes that we use a lot to organize our medications, you don't want to fill these up. You want to keep those in your suitcase, and that's it. You want to put it aside for a minute. Now, my medications come in a packet like this. I don't remove my medications from this packet because it has the name of the medication, it has my name on it, it has the prescription and the doctor who prescribed it. So it's official, and it tells the TSA where these medications came from and what they are. They need to know what they are. So I keep them in the original packet. Yours might come in bottles. So keep your medications in the bottles. And you might say, Lisa, you have no idea how many bottles. It's okay. Put a rubber band around them and put them in your travel suitcase, the one you're going to keep on you. You have to keep your medications with you. Don't put them in a checked luggage. Don't do that. So keep your medications on you at all times. So if they look at this and they say, okay, who do these medications belong to? And your name is on there, what kind of medications they are, and the name of the medication is on there, and the amount of the medication is on there, the milligrams. So it's all there, and you don't have to make things up or stumble because it's really hard to remember all our medications and the dosage. So this will save you. Don't take them out and put them in these until you get to your destination. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, good. Let's continue to the next thing. Now, I use a walker because I can walk short distances, and I use it to transfer. Because my spine is a little fragile, so I don't want to do anything crazy. So I'm going to show you what I use and how I pack the walker. Now it's going to be a little bumpy because It's a little heavy for me, but you'll watch me stumble a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, that was a lot of work. Now, what you saw me doing was putting my walker in a canvas bag I have. It's very sturdy. I don't have any breath. And I put it in that canvas bag. I zip it up. I was almost had it. But it was just to show you that I put it in the bag. I zip it up, and then I put an ID, an identification on it as medical equipment. And then I take it with me, and I put it in as luggage. I check it in, and they can't charge me. They can't charge me because it's a medical device. So that's what I do with my walker. If you have other medical equipment, like a chair for the shower or something like that, get it a canvas bag and put it in there, and then you can check it in as luggage, as medical device, and they won't charge you for it. So that's an example of what you can do. When you're traveling, obviously wear comfortable clothes, loose clothes, because you're going to have to transfer all that kind of stuff into the aisle chair, and you want your clothes to be able to accommodate for that. No tightness, just be comfortable in the clothes that you choose. The ID here in the United States, this does not apply to other countries, but here in the United States, by May 7th, 2025, you have to have the real ID. So make sure you have the real ID or a passport. Your liquids, you have to present them. Now, we're disabled, and usually they put us in a different line, and they put our luggage in another line, so you just let the TSA handle it. But the liquids for us remains the same. If you have other special liquids, just report it to the TSA so they know and they can check it as medical. And make sure you say medical reasons. Be very patient, just relaxed, because you never know when you're going to run into a bump somewhere along the line. But usually there is something called TSA Cares, and that's important for you to call them ahead of time, 72 hours before you go to the airport. TSA Cares, and they will assist you through security. So, and it's great. They'll wait for you. They'll watch for you so that they can help you through security. And it's helped me a lot in the past, and in the present. I always use them when I travel. It just gives me that state of mind in which I know there's going to be somebody there helping me to get through, and then the person in charge of the wheelchair can just wheel me to the gate. And then I'm set. When you get to the gate, don't forget to go to the counter first and let them know you are there and that you're in a wheelchair, blah, blah, blah. It's obvious. And you'll need some assistance getting into the airplane. They already know that, but just report yourself so they know you're there. The last time I did not say anything to the counter, and everybody was getting on the plane except me. So I asked a passenger to please alert the people at the counter that I was there. And so the gal came to me and said, "Are you mine?" And I said, "I am definitely yours." So I am so sorry. I didn't have you on my list. And she ran around like a chicken with her head cut off to get the people to bring the aisle chair for me and for me to transfer and get into the plane, all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of funny, but and not funny. So, but it all worked out. So really important to report yourself to the desk at the gate. Make sure you have good communication. So communicating with a TSA, communicating at the gate to make sure they know you're there, and that you're ready to board when they are ready. So, and please, I have seen people in wheelchairs miss their planes. I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos on people missing their planes. And it's like, I know we're a little bit slower. I know we have difficulty getting up and getting dressed. We're much slower and doing all that. But you need to make sure you get up with plenty of time to get dressed and have your suitcase ready, and get to the airport at least 2 hours before your flight, because you don't know what kind of backup you're going to run into. So, just know that if it's an international flight, you need to be there 3 hours before the flight. And if it is national flights, it's 2 hours prior. So just know that you would have to be there a little bit earlier, unfortunately. So I don't know what the reasons were of these people missing their flights, but it's really important for us to really get up a little bit earlier and get ready and get to the airport earlier than usual, because than other people, because we're a little bit slower. So, and we have TSA Cares that's looking for us, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know if you would have any questions, but the one on the medications is really important, to make sure you keep them in their original package, and packing any medical devices you might have, and a good case. They have cases on Amazon. You can look for them, cases for medical devices. For I bought this. I just Googled in there. I think it was $25, $30, and it's gone with me to several trips, and it's lasted forever and ever. So, and it fits my walker exactly. So it was just exact. So it's really important to find a good canvas sturdy bag for any medical devices, large medical devices you need to take with you, and check it in as a medical device. So I don't know if there's any further questions about traveling, but these are the essential points for traveling as a wheelchair user. You know, your timing, medications, your ID. I use a pouch in front of me with my ID, my passport, whatever I need right in front of me. It never leaves my side. And then I have another pouch down at my waist where I have, money, and other extra stuff, but just money and maybe some coins or whatever. And that I have to take it off at the TSA, but everything else, stays with me. So any questions you might have, please note them down below. You might have traveled a million times over. The only new detail is the Real ID here in the United States. That does not apply to other countries. These details will help other people from other countries. So minus the Real ID. So your medication is really important to have them in their original package. So the TSA or security in your country doesn't put up a tizzy. We don't like tizzies. But also, before you pack anything, for us wheelchair users, before you pack anything, just take some time, quiet time, and make your list, your travel list, so you don't forget anything important. So, do this because we're all different, and we all have different items we need. So, make this and then start packing and gathering the things you need for your trip. And make sure you have this right next to you, glued on your suitcase so you don't forget anything. All right, folks, that was it. This is the end of this master class. Feel free to, don't forget to do the most important thing in this video, and that's to give me a like. And the other most important thing is to subscribe so you get notifications of the next classes, the next videos that I do on this channel. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.